Hey, what's up, everybody? Andrew from Fantasy Aid here to give you Tap the Wire Week 19 Fantasy Baseball Waiver Wire ads. And these guys aren't going to be guys like Rye Hoskins, Dominic Smith. If you followed me on Twitter, you would have already picked them up by now. These are less obvious guys than, prospect call-ups that we all hear about and know. So, jumping in, here's one of the off-season guys I loved, and that's CJ Cron. I really haven't understood what the Angels have done with him. I really think they've messed up his development because he's got great pure power. He's got 8 homers on the season in 55 games. But you can see in the last 14 days, he's really been hitting 325, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, and that's what he can do for your team. He can hit for average, he can hit for power, and he's going to continue to keep playing as long as he keeps on this hot streak, and I expect him to. I love Cron's potential. I really want to see him play a full season and see what the numbers are like. Obviously, he struggled early this year, but the Angels just didn't stick with him when they should have. Going number 2, we got Carlos Gomez with the Texas Rangers. This is a guy that's going to go 15-15 this year. He's got 15 home runs already. He's at 11 steals. He's about 317 in the last 14 days, 2 home runs. But he's got 4 steals in the last 14 days, so he's definitely turned that on lately. So if you need some steals and, you can stomach the average, because the average isn't going to be 317. He's not going to hit for really high average just because of his swing, but if you need power and speed, Carlos Gomez is a guy to look at 30% owned. Speaking of power and speed, Orlando Arcia, shortstop. And the trouble with shortstop is there's guys like Anderson Simmons that are broken out, and there's just not a ton of room for guys like Orlando Arcia, but he's still having a fine year, batting .284, 11 homers, 11 stolen bases. This is another guy that is probably going to go 15-15, and he's been pretty good his last 14 days. 7 runs, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 294 average, and he's gotten 2 steals. Those pictures are of Cesar Hernandez. I forgot to change them, but Orlando Arcia, he's been playing very well for the Milwaukee Brewers, and he's going to score runs, and he's going to get steals for you, so pick up Orlando Arcia. Number 4, we got Parker Bridwell, and he was featured 2 weeks ago, and he got crushed versus the Phillies. But I watched that game, and he got really squeezed with the strike zone, and he had a much better timeout last time, tossing 1-run ball, 7 innings against the Orioles. Now, the K rate isn't going to wow you. He's got 12 Ks in his last 19.1 innings, which is higher than what it has been. It's higher than the 5.7 seen there. And he's still, even with the blow-up game against the Phillies, he still has a 2.79 ERA in the last 14 days, .98 whip. This guy has come out of nowhere, but I'm a believer. I picked him up in a couple leagues, so take a look at Parker Bridwell. And then for deeper leagues, you can look at Sean Newcombe for Atlanta, and that's simply because of the strikeouts. His K per 9 is actually 9.4. His walk rate is 5.1. The FIP is wrong there. But he's striking out people more than 1 per inning. This is especially helpful in deeper leagues. I think he should be more than 9% owned. And he's been okay-ish the last 14 days. The ERA is nice. The whip's high. But he's striking out, as I said, at more than a 1 per inning. So definitely pick him up in deeper leagues. For Fantasy Aid, I'm Andrew, and thank you for watching.